Faith cannot be lived in isolation. We are Christians together. That's why we talk about the Christian community, because by its very nature, faith brings us together to make a community out of us. We cannot be Christians in isolation. Of course, each one of us was baptized alone, and from that perspective, we can even say, I'm a Christian alone. But when we were baptized, yes, we were baptized alone, but we were also ushered into a community that we call a family of God, a Christian community. And so that means we cannot live our faith in isolation. We can't live it alone. We have to live it with other people. We have to express our faith with other people as a community of believers. As we entered into this Christian community, God also gave us certain abilities, certain qualities, certain talents that we could express in order to help each other grow in our knowledge and love of God. God did not just put us into a Christian community, He also gave us something to share among ourselves so that we become what indeed He intends us to become as a community, a strong community, a community that continues to grow, a community that is not stunted, but continues to grow, continues to move on and on. That's why today the message that the Holy Father preaches, and strongly so, is that we are a church that is outgoing. We are a church that is reaching out to many other people in the world out there. Because whatever we have received from God should not just be lived within this small community. We are supposed to be a community that goes out to meet the world out there, to evangelize the world out there, to introduce Christ wherever Christ has not yet been introduced. That's why at the core of the life of the church is the mission of evangelization, that we are all called to be part of this mission, because our faith is not our faith alone. It is our faith, but with others. And that means we have to be ready to share it with other people within the community, but also outside our Christian community. We are a church that is outgoing, a church that involves itself in works of mercy out there. Jesus today is talking about, he's saying, no one after lighting a lamp covers it with a vessel. This language is very figurative, but Jesus is talking about a Christian who is baptized into a Christian community, or a Christian who introduces himself or herself into a Christian community. That what you have become now as light, because when you get configured to Christ, you become the other Christ. You become the other light of Christ. And that means that whatever you have become is supposed to be shared with others out there. You cannot become a Christian and pack or shelve your Christian qualities. Pack yourself in your house and then continue to claim that you are a Christian. It's like you are lighting a candle like this, a lamp, and then you're covering it. But what purpose is it serving? It is not serving any purpose at all. As a Christian, you are the light, or the other light of Christ, the light of Christ himself. And if you are that, it means that you are supposed to be exposed in order to illuminate the environment, in order to introduce that same light to an environment where you find yourself in. Are you covering yourself under a bed or under some kind of cover such that your light is not able to be visible out there? Or are you out there busy doing the things of God, illuminating the environment with the light of Christ? Our basic duty as Christians is to be light wherever we find darkness, not to be perpetrators of the darkness itself, or not to be complices of the perpetrators of darkness, not to be part of those that are promoting darkness. But as Christians, our duty is to dispel that darkness, to go out there and challenge the darkness that we see. That is what it means to be the light that is exposed and illuminating the environment. Faith is not lived in isolation. Faith is lived with other people. Whom are you living your faith with? Are you living your faith alone? Or are you sharing it with others? Are you being what you promised you would be when you got baptized? Or are you being what Christ himself intended you to be when you were ushered into a Christian community? Many of us find ourselves just in the backbench. Many of us find ourselves just watching other people doing the work. We find ourselves just sitting on the terraces like tambas in a stadium, just utamba bola, and you are not actively taking part in what is happening. But as a Christian, you're supposed to descend, to come down from those terraces and be part of the players. Go into the field and be part of those that are playing there. Make yourself useful. That is what it means to be the light that you became when you got baptized. That is what it means to be part of the mission of evangelization, to come down from the terraces and be part of the players, be part of the active evangelizers. Today we celebrate Padre Pio of Pietrelcina. Padre Pio is a saint of our times, if you like. Somebody that indeed was dedicated to Christ, somebody that received even the gift of the stigmata because of the special connection that he had with Christ, because of the special connection that he had even with those people that were suffering. He spent most of his time hearing confessions, talking to people that were in distress, and trying to help to be helpful to them. I think his life inspires all of us, that we too can be the Padre Pios of today. We too can be involved in the lives of other people in order to uplift them, in order to help them. Many people out there are going through a lot, and they're always looking forward to having or seeing a shoulder to lean on for the pain to be, to be lessened. But then that shoulder probably is not there. As a Padre Pio of today, you are called to be that shoulder, to show concern, genuine concern for those that are going through pain. Padre Pio felt the pain of Christ when he received the stigmata, because his life was directly connected to the suffering of Christ, but also in a special way to the sufferings of the people that he ministered to. Many years after his death, probably even 50 after his death, when they opened his tomb, they found that his body was incorruptible. It did not decay. They found it just as intact as they buried him. It's a special gift given to him by God, but a special gift that can also be given to you and I if we also dedicate ourselves to being helpful, to being active participators in the mission of Christ, in the work of the church, the work of evangelization. We are called upon to respond positively to those that are crying for help. We pray that indeed we may make ourselves available, we make ourselves useful as we live our faith with other people. The best way to live this faith is to pay a listening ear to that person who is crying and to try and be helpful to them. That is the best way to live your faith with other people. Christ has given us gifts. Christ has given us abilities. He has given us talents. He has given us things through our baptism that we can share with other people. And one of them is that particular concern for the person next door who is in distress. Are we trying to be helpful to them? Are we doing whatever we can do within our own means to try and remove the pain from the life of that person? Or are we the perpetrators of the pain that that person is feeling? Are we the ones causing that pain? So we are invited to indeed reflect on how we live our life, especially our Christian life. Are we being helpful, or we are actually part of the camp that we are supposed to be challenging? Amen.